Hey everyone, it's Mrs. Aki, and tonight we are going to be looking at multiplying integers. So we're looking at the product of positive and negative numbers. Let's go ahead and get started. Everybody should have their notes out. I do expect to see the title, and I do again expect to see this essential question written down. You only have to write it at the top. At the bottom, you're just going to go and answer it, okay? Don't have to write it twice in your notes, okay? For your essential question, I do expect to see three answers. One, when you have a positive times a positive. When are you going to know when two integers is positive? Two, when are you going to know when the answer is negative? And three, when do you know when the answer is going to be zero? Again, how do you know is what you're describing for all three situations. Let's go ahead and look what happens when you multiply same sign. That means when you multiply a positive and a positive, same sign, and when you multiply a negative and a negative. When you multiply same sign, I don't know how many times I could say it. Okay, same sign, the answer will always be positive. We went through the inductive reasoning of this all in class, so now it's time to learn the trick. It will always be positive. So positive times positive is positive. Negative times negative is positive. Not the same as addition and subtraction, okay? Multiplication and division are going to be slightly different. With different signs, that means a positive times a negative or a negative times a positive, you're going to get negative answers. So positive times negative is negative. Negative times positive is negative. All right, let's go ahead and get started on our examples. All right, so we have a positive times a positive, and a positive times a positive is a positive. So 5 times 5 is 25. The multiplication doesn't change. The only thing we're focusing in on is the sign of our product. Okay, a positive times a positive is a positive. 4 times 11 is 44. A negative times a negative is a positive, and 1 times 9 is 9. A negative times a negative is a positive, same sign, so it becomes a positive, and 7 times 8 is 56. All right, a positive times a negative, different signs, pay attention, different signs, is going to be a negative, and 12 times 2 is 24. Okay, 6, a positive times a negative, pay attention, different signs, okay, is going to be a negative, and 4 times 6 is 24. So negative 24 and negative 24. We write the negative sign right in front of it. Make sure you have those down in your notes. Okay, super important. Let's go ahead and move on to our next set of examples. All right. A negative times a positive. Here's your trick if you forget what's going on. We're going to use this plus minus minus triangle. Okay, we have a negative, so I'm going to cover up this negative here. I need to choose a darker font for this one. Okay. We're going to cover up this negative, so I have a negative times a positive, and a negative times a positive. What do we have left outside of our plus minus minus triangle is a negative. Our answer is going to be negative if we forget. And 10 times 6 is 60, so negative 60. 8, we have different signs again, so let's go through it and use our plus minus minus triangle. We're going to draw another one. Okay, a negative times a positive. What do we have left? A negative. The answer is going to be negative, and 5 times 7 is 35. All right. Now we know what sign we're going to get when we have a product. Okay, let's go ahead and start evaluating them using exponents. Okay, we need to pay close attention to parentheses. So if the number is inside the parentheses, that means we have to write it how many times? Exactly the same. So we have to write it 3 times 3, negative 3, inside the parentheses. When it's outside the parentheses, here's the difference. When it's outside the parentheses, we only have to write the negative once. This is equal to negative 7 squared. Okay, so we're going to look at those two differences. I already started talking about number 9. This one says -3 each times itself, twice. So twice, 1, 2. Negative times negative is positive, so the answer is going to be positive, and 3 times 3 is 9. We evaluated the expression. Good job. 10. Super important to pay attention to these parentheses. It says write -2, since it's in the parentheses, 3 times. 1, 2, 3. Negative times negative is positive, and 2 times 2 is 4. Okay, the next one, positive times negative is negative, and 2 times 4 is 8. Now we evaluated the expression. 11, no parentheses, so it says only one -7 times 7. 7 times itself. So negative times positive is negative. 7 times 7 is 49. 12, no parentheses. Pay close attention. So we are saying 6 times itself 3 times, and one of them is going to be negative. Negative times positive is negative. 6 times 6 is 36. So negative times positive is negative, and negative 36 times 6 is negative 216. All right, go ahead and work on these on your own problems. When you're ready to check your answers, go ahead and resume, and I'll be here waiting. Thank you for pausing your video. For problem number 1, you should have got positive 20. Number 2, you should have gotten negative 9. 3, you should have gotten positive 12. 4, you should have gotten negative 30. And 5, you should have gotten $660. $660. Okay? So, go ahead and answer your essential question, and go take that checkpoint located in the next assignment on Schoology. I hope you guys have a great night.